You can't afford to live in this country no more. And I ain't just talking about being broke. I'm talking about everyday people getting up, going to work, working hard, and still coming up short. Trying to make ends meet, got to choose between food and heat. And the people running this country, well, they doing just fine. They even got the nerve to say inflation is defeated. That's what you get, right? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. This is just another number with your host 17, and today we're going to be talking about the cost of living crisis that is ailing everyone here in the United States. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe only if you like the content. Let's get into it. So like I do for just about every video I do here on YouTube, I did a little research, looked into it because we care about numbers here on this channel. And I wanted to take a look at the data to see exactly, pinpointing exactly what's going on in real time. So that's exactly what I did. The cost of living landscape in the United States has seen a significant shift as of April 2026. While inflation had cooled throughout 2025, recent geopolitical events, specifically energy disruptions linked to the regional conflicts in the Middle East, have triggered a sharp rebound in prices. In other words, the war. Well, this one isn't too hard to figure out. It's because of your president, the one you all elected. He's started a war in Iran to distract everybody from them damn Epstein files that he doesn't want anybody to see, that everybody already knows that he's in. Quite a distraction, huh, Donald? The inflation rebound. After maintaining a relatively stable trajectory in early 2026, the consumer price index saw a notable jump in March. Headline inflation accelerated to 3.3% in March of 2026, up from 2.4% in February. Energy surge. Energy prices jumped from 12.5% year over year in March. This was driven by a staggering 44.2% increase in fuel oil and an 18.9% increase in gasoline prices. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, core inflation remains stickier at 2.6%, suggesting that price measures are beginning to bleed back into the broader economy. Housing and shelter costs. Housing remains the primary driver of financial strain for the average household. While some markets have seen a slight cooling in rent growth, the floor for housing costs remains significantly higher than pre-2020 levels. Average rent. The national average monthly rent sits at approximately $1,890. Home ownership. The average home sale price is currently $486,000. Mortgage rates. 30-year fixed rates have fluctuated recently, trending back toward 6.9% to 7% following the March inflation report. Shelter inflation. Even as other categories fluctuated, shelter costs rose by 3% over the last year, remaining a persistent weight on monthly budgets. So this is the new America, right? Right? Apparently. Rent almost $1,900 a month. The average home almost $500,000. Seriously? Like, you know the wages that they're paying. Like, we haven't raised the minimum wage in this country since President Obama was in office. That should tell you something. This country is not where it needs to be, and both parties are failing us. But currently Republicans are in charge. So to me, they're the ones that's going to get the blame right now. The people that's holding the levers of power, the people that are there that can actually do something right now, or at least get the gears in motion for some change, they're not doing it. They're not working on our behalf, the average regular person. They're working on behalf of their donors. This is what always happens in the political circles. It's a revolving door. You're not in the club. I'm not in the club either. That's why I'm talking shit right now. They don't ever want to do anything to help the American people, but they will sit there and constantly bullshit you They will constantly sit there and talk shit and gaslight you to make it seem like there's nothing they can do. But we somehow got billions and billions and billions and billions of fucking dollars to go fight a war that this fat fucker is using as a distraction from the Epstein files. We got money for that. But we ain't got money to help the people. The people that vote for your sorry asses in Congress and every other fucking government position. Food and grocery trends. While grocery inflation is lower than its 2022-2023 peaks, prices have locked in at these higher levels. Grocery costs. The estimated average monthly grocery bill for a U.S. household is now $1,050. Specific categories. Dining out. Food away from home is rising faster than groceries, up 3.9% year over year. Volatility. Sugar and sweets have seen a sharp 9% increase, while egg prices have actually dropped significantly, down 42% compared to the avian flu driven highs of 2025. Learn something every day. Moving on to the affordability gap. The most striking data point from April 2026 is the growing divide between earnings and essential expenses. The 49% metric. Research from the Urban Institute indicates that 49% of people in American families currently lack the resources to cover the, quote, true cost of living, unquote, essentials plus basic security. Earnings versus cost. Since 2017, average earnings have grown by roughly 43%, but home sales prices have outpaced them with an 81% increase. Financial distress. Credit card delinquency, currently at 5.6%, as more households use credit to bridge the gap between wages and bills. Student loan delinquency remains high at 15.9%. Of course it does. Summary table key indicators, March/April 2026. National average rent, $18.90 per month. Gasoline national average, $3.96 per month. Which honestly, I think that's higher. Average weekly earnings, $1,270. Health insurance monthly, $611. Energy inflation year over year, plus 12.5 fucking percent. How the fuck is anybody supposed to keep up? Now, those numbers I've just given you, they're out there. You can go look those numbers up yourself. But, you know, to pay almost $1,900 a month in rent, and then basically in some states, $5-6 a gallon for gas, and that weekly earnings, that $1,270, I guarantee that's before taxes and all other deductions that come out of your fucking check. You know, the numbers, they have a way of playing with the numbers, all types of funny business to make it look like it's one thing, but in other words, what about the low income folks? What about the folks that's in that medium area between low and not even middle class, just like upper lower class? You know, people are not making that much money. And when you look at the jobs, you know, all of these places, they want to lowball you. They don't want to pay older workers. They don't want to pay older workers because they know older workers are gonna, you know, we got years of experience. They know older workers aren't going to settle for bullshit. You're going to have to pay them. So they want the young bucks fresh off the street. People that they can lowball. People that they can pay fucking peanuts for what the jobs are actually worth. Have you working, doing 2-3 jobs, getting paid for one. This is what they do. All in an effort to try to save money for more profits for their shareholders, for them. It's just greed all around the board. And like I said plenty of times in these videos, there's no fucking morality. If you can sit there and honestly go to bed at night knowing that you're fucking over the very people who you need to keep your company afloat, or do you lie to yourself and convince yourself I'm paying them a fair wage, or I'm paying them what the market dictates, when all of you business people are in cahoots? All of these business people are in cahoots to keep keep wages artificially low, because Lord knows wages have not kept up with productivity. Productivity has skyrocketed and wages have remained stagnant. But they refuse to do anything about that. They refuse to say anything about it. Of course not. It's in their best interest. We as the people have to speak up, speak our mind, and stop being afraid. Too many of us are afraid to lose our jobs, so we don't speak out online. The jobs that already are not paying us enough money. Too scared to speak up, too scared to say anything. And not only that, these damn social media platforms will probably ban your videos because they're all controlled by these right-leaning people that lean right, lean Republican. So it's like, what do we do from here? What the fuck do we do? Still trying to figure that out. Well, if you've been paying attention to the news, somebody along the way in Ontario, I think they figured it out. They wanted to do things their way, and, well, let's just say it got a little fiery.
You know, if you're not going to pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to... There goes your inventory.
Tonight, new video on social media has surfaced of what appears to be inside a warehouse as someone is going around the room starting several fires while talking about their salary. Fire officials say the fire started on Tuesday just after midnight and quickly grew because of the large amount of paper products inside the warehouse that fueled the flames.
They called break and I went outside, sitting in my car, and not even 10 minutes go by and I heard the alarm.
It took crews several hours to get the fire under control, even using drones to extinguish the hot spots after all 20 employees inside were evacuated.
And that's what people are doing. He literally set the warehouse on fire, literally saying, this wouldn't have happened if you paid us enough. Now, I'm not condoning what the man did. And how can I put this? How can I put this nicely? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when people constantly are telling you you're not paying us enough money, but you still expect us to come in and bust our ass at work? Like, there has to be a trade-off. And then these companies, none of them want unions. You know why they don't want unions? Because they don't want workers being able to fight for their own benefit. They don't want workers to be able to have any negotiating power, any bargaining power. The company just wants to dictate to the worker, hey, we're going to pay you pennies and you're going to like it. Well, there's going to be some form of retaliation. It's human nature. You can't continue to screw over one group of people or a person and then expect nothing to happen back to you. Again, I'm not condoning the incident. He's been arrested and all of that, but people are getting frustrated. And we have a lot of undiagnosed mental health issues in this country. Not saying that's what this man had gone through. I'm saying you have people that are already on the edge and probably have undiagnosed mental health disorders, along with a country full of guns. It's like a recipe for disaster. And I have a hard time, honestly, I have a hard time understanding, like, how don't these rich people, these billionaires, these leaders of these corporations not understand that? Like, you do understand that it's not going to be safe for you at a certain point. But a lot of them think because they have fucking bunkers and they got all this money and you think you can just pay enough people to fucking protect you until the numbers get so great to where they can't protect you. Until they force you to run into your bunker and you have to spend the rest of your life there. I sympathize with them. I get it. I understand. I stand for the working folks. I stand for the working people. I'm one of you. I don't get paid off this YouTube shit. So I feel your pain because I'm going through it personally. It's just sad. That man should have never been driven to that point. A lot of people say, oh, well, you know, a lot of people are going to take responsibility. He needs to take responsibility for his actions. Well, of course. He's been arrested. He has no choice but to take responsibility for his actions. And most of that shit was probably insured anyhow. So it's not going to really make much of a difference. But at the end of the day, you know, these companies, these corporations, everything is just money hungry. Everything is just about money, 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 money for them, not for us. The goal is to drain the middle class until it's no longer existent. The haves, the have-nots, the Hunger Games, the rich, the poor. That's all they want. They want it to be a binary system, just like it is within our so-called democracy. A two-party system. You get a binary choice. Two. It's not like that anywhere else. It's just like that here. Nothing is black and white. You know? And my thing is, I know the people on the right, too many of them are just gonna just completely discount why this man did what he did. Completely throw it by the wayside. He was wrong. He had no reason. He had a reason. That's why he did it. Doesn't mean it was right, but he did it. And the crazy part about it, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if something worse happened, because people are already at a breaking point. The combination between the jobs not paying people enough, and then the combination of everything being raised up in prices due to inflation and fucking greed. Fucking greed. You get those two mix. No wages, and then an increase on everyday essentials. We ain't even talking about the wants. We're talking about the necessities that people can't afford. And nobody's doing anything to help them. It's just the rich keep getting richer. And it's like there's going to be consequences for that at some point. I'm gonna hit this next clip.
I don't want a job. I don't want to work. Why do people act like that's a crazy thing to say? I didn't even ask to be alive. You know what's crazy? Let's say you send off 20 applications, like I did, and you get one interview. Now you have to sit at this bullshit table with these bullshit people and tell them, yes, if I was offered a better opportunity than this one, then I wouldn't take it because I'm loyal to this job that I haven't even started yet. And they know you're lying. They know that every single person who walks through their doorway is giving a performance. But that's what they're judging, the performance, because we're all actors playing a script we didn't write. And it's all bullshit. And then they ask, what drives you? Being homeless? You know what doesn't drive me? Waking up at 7 a.m. and thinking, oh yes, I can't wait to make spreadsheets and send emails.
You can hear the pain in his voice. You know how many of us dread getting up and going to work in the morning? You know how many of us say to ourselves, men and women, man, I wish I didn't have to do this today. You know how many people don't ever feel like getting up and going to work in the morning? No one does. No one does. They say do what you love. And for a lot of people in this day and age, they would love not to work. They would love to just be able to live their life, right? But unfortunately, the system we have doesn't allow you to do that unless you've figured out a way to con or scam or fuck over hundreds or probably thousands of people. You don't just get to become a millionaire or a billionaire out the blue. It's a certain game you got to play. I feel everything this young man is saying. And yeah, he said he didn't ask to be born. That's pretty powerful. I mean, none of us asked to be born. But I still feel his pain. You have to go in these interviews. You have to lie. Oh, well, what motivates you? What motivates me is money. And it's crazy. Because if you told the truth, you wouldn't get hired. You got to do the song and dance. But even though you know what motivates me, you're not willing to pay me enough of what motivates me. And then you wonder why you get lackluster performances from your people, from your employees. Because you're not paying them enough. You're not incentivizing them to go above and beyond. It's about holding on to every coin you can. Because, of course, the country was built off slavery in America. America was built off slavery. And what's slavery? Well, slavery means I'm not paying you shit. So that's what the country always, when I say the country, I mean these white folks. Because they're the ones that still got the power. You say you're making a race issue. Well, black people are not the ones in power. Hispanics are not the ones in power. Asians are not the ones in power. You know, give up control. Give up control and then we'll see. You know, actually forfeit control and then we'll see. I bet you we see some changes. You know, but that's a topic for another day. But this young man, he seen it. He had the look in his eyes of someone that is now awake, that has finally opened their eyes and seen the system for what it is or what it's not. I'll hit this next clip.
So the niggas in Italy found out that the Democrats and the Republicans is working together over where they live at. So they like, listen, the citizens, they like, we banding together. We not paying our fucking bills no more. We not paying our bills. We not paying our rent. We not shopping with y'all. We stocked up on food. We gonna sit our asses right in the crib and nobody gonna do a fuck thing about it. And y'all economy gonna collapse, and that's what it is. And all the citizens, literally all the citizens of Italy are not shopping with the establishment no more. They sitting their ass in the crib. They said fuck work and y'all gonna fix shit around here. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, this is what the fuck we need to be doing in America, because there's no way the president is accused of touching kids and these files and all this old cool shit. We at war, all this old dumb shit. Gas prices about to be at fucking $70 a gallon, and we just chilling. The economy, nigga want to see first month's, last month's insecurity on a $2,000 apartment. That means you got to make $6,000 after taxes legally. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, no, you got me fucked up. So if we gonna do anything, I think we should be doing what Italy doing. Quit your job. Don't shop with these niggas no more. You better stock up on some food and keep your black ass in the house until shit get better. They can't kick us all out. But yeah, it's Channel 16 News, and thanks for coming. You feel me? I'm gonna keep y'all updated.
That's the type of thing I would love to happen in this country. I would love for it to happen in America, but I know it won't. Too many of us are complacent. I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom and negative, because I appreciate everything this brother's saying. We do need to do like they do in other countries. When they really want to get some shit to shake, when they really want to force the issue and make some shit move, they know how to do that. They know how to say no. They know how to be disciplined. That's one of the things we're not in this country. We're not really disciplined. We're not really built for it. We're just not. We're not disciplined enough to be able to say no. Y'all can't even stop getting Starbucks. Y'all can't even stop paying subscriptions. They know that. They know that because they've watched us and they've molded us and they've trained us to be as docile as ever. This has all been one fucking psyop, one big fucking psychological operation to see how stupid can we make the American people so we can get our way and do the things we're doing. They can charge all these crazy ass prices because they know stupid, slow motherfuckers is gonna pay it. I'm not finna bite my tongue for y'all. We should know better. We should do better, but we don't, because too many motherfuckers care about comfortability. That's what you care about. Any small discomfort, you start to lose your fucking minds. No one's gonna be disciplined. No one's gonna walk off the job. No one's gonna band together. We're not gonna unionize. They made the word union be a dirty word. You can't even get people to stop shopping at fucking Target like that. You think we gonna come together and stop paying bills? Think about it. That's the power we actually do have. You see, they may cut our power in the short term, meaning our electricity, but the real power we got is saying we're not paying that shit. You don't have this economy without us. You don't shit shake without the people getting up and going to work. It is power to the people. They just brainwashed us to make us forget what the fuck our power really fucking is. That's their superpower. That's their strength, to keep us all divided, to keep us at each other's throats because of our fucking differences. Duh, it's America. It was built on differences. Besides all the other genocide and slavery and all of that shit. Only place in the world where you have a multitude of races and ethnicities that come together. We need to do something. We've been needed to do something. Can we do it? We can do it if we just if we were just disciplined enough. But they've conditioned us to be docile. They've conditioned us to be exactly how we are because of decades and decades and decades of propaganda. Not to mention all the other shit they put in our air and our water and our food to keep us fucking stupid, dumb, docile. So I wish we could do what Italy was doing. I wish we could stand up and hold our own for once to the people, to actually fight the power. If you like today's episode, give me a like, a comment, subscribe. And yeah, I will be talking about this story more and more in the future, of course, because it's an ongoing issue that we seem to be having in this country. But again, give me a like if you like it. If you didn't like the content, you can scroll on and you never have to see me again. But just remember, like how I try to always end these videos, we are stronger together when we have the numbers.